Hello. I'm super excited to have you here today. Excited about the conversation we get to have. This is the New World TV, your favorite television and your most treasured TV show, which is the Daily Trend Show, which happens Thursdays, 8:15 a.m. and repeated on Saturdays. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms, YouTube and Facebook. So today we are tackling a very delicate but shadowed topic. When I talk about shadow, it means it's not really spoken about in our world or in our time. So together with me in the studio is
Mavis Adu,
Mr. Champo Kwame, popularly known to be Gone G.
Okay, and I'm in the person of Margaret Clark. Today's conversation is not going to be a monologue, but a dialogue. That is why I have this cherished host with me to discuss about the topic themed literature and art as a tool for development. So, Mr. Enoch, what is your view on literature and art?
Okay, first of all, when you talk about literature, I would say we have two forms of literature that we all know. We have the oral aspect of literature and we have the written aspect of literature. So to make it very clear to my viewers, I would say the oral aspect of the literature example would be the poems that we recite, and the written aspect is the written one, like novels.
we have poems and poetry. I will agree with you. I think literature and art has been part of human history since the beginning of time. They both go hand in hand. They are like two sides of a coin, because I think great works of art have inspired great works of literature. I think literature and art simply refers to the basic forms of expressions, both fictional and non-fictional writings. As you said earlier, literature, we have written and oral forms, we have poetry, and in terms of art, we have music, drama, sculpture, painting, and so on.
So basically, literature is a form of communication, entertainment, and then education. So we can use that as the importance of literature and art, right?
Yes,
so I think there are some people who practice literature and art or have taken it upon themselves to make that a profession. We have Amata Edu, we have we have a lot of people. We have
Ayayi. He wrote La Parole de Sepan.
Okay.
I love that book. That book is so amazing. And
really? Then I think I would have to
it's a must
read it.
It's a must
Okay.
I think I've read that book.
Yes, I've even purchased it, and
We
I
have
haven't taken it along.
Kojo Entry. I don't know if you guys know Kojo
One of my
Entry.
favorites from Ghana, Kojo Entry, and then we have Stone Boy, we have Sarkodie. When it comes to artists, we have a lot. Even in Togo here, we have Tufan, and there is this one I've been listening to his music, King Mensa.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's kind of having this Ghanaian name, but he's a Togolese. And then his songs are very
And we are
nice.
actually fortunate to have you here since you are a musician.
Of course. And I also go by the name Gonji.
Oh, okay, that is
Now, I
very
like to be
nice.
dancing in your music videos.
Don't worry.
I also like to back you up in your,
Don't worry. When
in your
the time is
music.
due, we are on our ensemble.
Okay. So now that we finished the aspect of literature and art, I think we should move to development. So Miss Mavis, would you like to talk about development for us?
Okay, when we say development, I think development is in three aspects. Looking at it from this perspective, we have individual development, social and economic development, and national development. Development is to say when there is a growth in something, when something transcends to another ladder. Maybe we're all kids. I remember Maggie, she used to play in the sounds and
Exactly.
she would chew She has experienced development in her life,
So I remember I used to do Incro with some girls in
What is
Nigeria.
Incro?
And that's kind of a local language, right?
Okay.
That's, you see, there are times you kind of go out when you were kids, prepare foods with these tin cans,
Yeah.
right?
You put sand in.
You guys do your mom's rice.
You go and steal your mommy's rice, like you end up
Exactly.
not eating the food,
Okay.
but then voila,
Okay.
we were doing all this for fun.
Now you're a grown man right
So I
now.
think development
I've
is
been developed.
moving from one level to another, and like you stated, we have the national, we have the individual, and we have the economic. So I think we should tackle it one by one so that our cherished viewers will get to understand it. So
Of
let's start with
course.
the individual development.
Individual development.
Yeah.
When we say individual, an individual is being developed, though, it pertains to psychological and physical aspects. Personally, I'm a lover of music and drama. When I'm being depressed, anytime I'm sad or something, I tend to listen to
Is
music.
it Broken Heart?
No, please.
Is it ones we are thinking about?
Personal trauma. We all go through personal
Yes, it's a
trauma.
phase.
I listen to music and I get some sort of excitement. It serves as my therapy.
Okay.
So I think arts and literature helps individuals individuals to find deeper meaning of their emotions, and they see things from a different perspectives of life, okay? And it helps us to become very open-minded. A situation whereby you are reading a poem, you are a poet, right?
Exactly.
And you see new vocabularies, you tend to learn them and you add it to your daily conversation.
That's very true.
I'd have to agree with you with that, because I have a cousin who actually has an advanced word bank that she speaks good English. When I'm talking, I'm not exaggerating, like extremely good English, that sometimes when she speaks to us, we have to pretend as if we've not heard it.
Many times you have to go to Google and
yes, and then we have to search for it. Sometimes
you are very intelligent.
One of my lecturers will say generation portable.
Yes, sometimes I can't even spell the word, so I would have to allow her to speak again so that my Google can hear it and then look for the word for me.
Very clever.
So I
You guys have to watch out.
Yes, yeah, very true. So I think that literature and art expands the IQ of a child, because if you're able to develop your IQ as a child, then when you grow, you're going to be like a very, very bright and smart person, not just a student. So I think literature and art actually expands the IQ of a child, taking into consideration like cartoons. We have cartoons, we have rhyming words, we have
Cocomelon.
and in our time, it was Dora the Explorer. I remember watching that every single day. We have Mr. Incredible, and I actually picked a lot of vocabularies from these cartoons that I watched as a kid. This is why I'm speaking English. Okay.
So to add up, I would say literature and arts really educates.
It does.
Yeah, it educates, because it's not about your cousin you just set the example with. We as grown-ups, it has been happening to us.
Yes.
Sometimes I listen to music and then I come across new words that I use wherever I go. Do you get it?
Yes, I think.
So there, I would say I've been developed. Right?
Yes, you've developed
Sometimes
yourself.
there are movies that I watch, some series in French, because I'm a French student.
Exactly.
I watch some movies and I listen to some musics in French, and then I end up learning a lot.
And I think it makes you confident, because if you are able to speak the basic of a language, yes, you're able to express yourself. This bonjour, konnichiwa,
and the song that he released, Je m'en fous.
Exactly. I think I learned that phrase from you.
I've been having comments on my page.
And then I guess the money is coming playing too.
Please don't forget us when you get the money.
And let's not forget, okay, I think with the individual aspect, it helps individuals to go back in time to learn what occurred in the past, okay? A situation whereby our leaders, they experienced some sort of fight, or maybe they were relocating from a place to another place. When you go to Ghana, I think during the central aspect, there were some leaders, maybe they call them Obroman Kuma or that they composed a song which now contemporary fancies, it inspires them wherever that they find themselves. When they sing that song, they have some sort of inspiration.
I think even some fishermen use it when they are fishing. When they are fishing,
exactly. Get a lot of
energy.
And I think that is.
I wonder how they pull that thing.
It's not easy, but I think the music really encourages them. So we can say literature and art also encourages us as individual. Okay.
Gives energy. It does a lot.
It's also built on our talent. Okay. But before we move to talent, I would like to know the difference between skills and then talent, Ms. Mavis.
Okay, skills and talent. I would say talent is something that comes naturally, okay? And I think talent leads to skills. Sometimes someone would have the talent, but your inability to focus on your talent and work upon it and know that there is a skill that can be developed from it. I think skill can be learned, but then talent cannot be learned.
So talent, we are born with talent. So we can say.
Personally, I would say I was born with the talent of hair braiding.
Oh, that's very nice. So do you still braid?
No, please. I used to braid my grandmom's head, but
you can still continue. I think
that's a development right there.
Yes, but I think
she used to know how to do it.
But then I didn't build upon it. The skill.
So the talent is there, but the skill is not there.
That's why I said from the onset, development can be positive
and then negative.
You might know how to do the thing,
but if you don't augment
your inability to work towards it, to develop your skill, it can destroy your talent.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that is
so
very,
we should
good.
Educate viewers about that. The fact that development can be positive and can be negative.
Okay, so now that we've talked about the individual, let's move to the national, which has economic and then social aspect of development concerning literature and art.
Socially, literature and art has helped individuals, our lives in all aspects. I think yesterday we got the opportunity to experience the soiree, which was organized by the students of Village de Benin, of which students from Nigeria were there, students from Chad, and students from China. They were all there. It promoted very unity among us. We were all excited, and I got to see some artwork being displayed and some dance. But there was a lady, she was just dancing like this.
And I think there is a story behind every dance.
I even saw she was giving a number to a guy.
Why do you have to expose me like that?
It has promoted peaceful coexistence socially.
So if I'm to visit him or her in Chad,
it might lead to marriage. You know,
probably. Let's just hope for the best.
I also had a chance to experience their foods. When they displayed it and then they were giving names to it. I had one food called agusi. So which I've never, that was my first time.
Oh really?
And I tasted it and it was nice.
Wow.
Do you get it?
I think it's different from what you've been eating at home. Okay,
right?
That is very nice.
So
that is
we,
very nice.
We really learned a lot about yesterday's program that you are talking about. And then I think so far as literature is concerned, it's really educated us on that side, right? Yeah.
Okay. So let's move to the economic aspect. So with the economic aspect, I think literature and art takes a burden of the government when it comes to the rate of unemployment in the country. So when you visit most African countries, you can see that the youth are unemployed. And sometimes it's very, very sad that you see people just sitting at home with nothing to do, no livelihood. They have to still depend on their parents. Some of them are in their 60s, and imagine depending on them. But if I'm able to acquire a skill, I'm able to acquire a skill, I don't think I would have to depend solely on the government to employ me.
Many times the fault of the parents too.
I sure?
Yes. Many times it's their
fault. How can you elaborate on that?
Whereby you're able to converse your word. Maybe you can't give the life that your word would want. It's not necessarily taking your kid to school. You know you can't afford. You can involve your word in a skill-oriented basketry, weaving, crocheting. They are all something that they can commence to earn some coins for themselves. But the words, they are waiting for them to get something to take them to school to get these white collar jobs. They've diverted their minds to these white collar jobs, which now
is very appalling.
They are even complaining.
It's very appalling because if I have a skill, I think I can earn money on my own. I don't need to depend on anybody to give me money. It can even be a side hustle, even if you are working. You understand?
With the economic sector.
Me as a parent, I would always encourage my
kids. You have a kid? When you become okay, sorry.
When I become a parent,
exactly.
Right, I would always encourage my word.
They might even take after you since you are a musician.
When it happens, do you understand? So if I see such kind of talent in my word, I wouldn't deprive him or her from going to school, from being educated, but then I would rather do what? Enforce and reinforce in what he can do best, right? And then at the end of the day, it's going to be a portraitudinous feeling.
You benefit.
Yeah, when I see my word, like on telly, I'm going to be
it's
proud.
Some sort of like you are proud what you've done. Of
course. Yeah.
And economically, I wouldn't leave out. You see, literature and art helps us, individuals, to better our lives. A situation whereby individuals who are involved in artworks, this sculpture, architects, and these poets, where it serves as their means of livelihood, they tend to pay taxes, with which it earns the government revenue.
But do you think this literature and art is really earning government a revenue?
Yes,
I doubt
it
that.
Does. Every individual who is in the working sector pays taxes, and it's an obligatory something. So when these taxes are being paid, on the long run, it serves as a revenue for the government, with which they use to utilize these social amenities for us. When you go to the hospital and you are enjoying a service,
but how many people go into literature and art to the extent that it generates this amount of money
for the government
to build?
Pay taxes, Madam Margaret. When the taxes get up there is no some sort of division. This tax is from art sector. This tax is from teaching sector. This tax is from market service. No, there is no division. The revenues are summed up, and when they are using it to do a project for us, they don't have any division. So you being an artist, when you go to a hospital to enjoy a service, you wouldn't say this service I'm enjoying is because I'm an artist. No, there is no division.
Exactly.
Of course, there is no division like that, like my co-host rightly said. But then I think you are all enjoying how they are rightly moving the show to become a debate. I'm really enjoying. But then before we go more into it, let's give ourselves a quick lacuna. We'll be back shortly.
15 minutes.
Hi viewers, welcome back. If you just joined, we are live on the New World Television, your number one most anticipated and educative and of course entertaining television show. Before we went for the break, we were tackling on the social and economical aspects of how literature and arts brings development, and it's interesting. But don't forget, you follow us on Facebook at the Daily Trend, at the Daily Trend TDT, and on YouTube is the New World Television channel at the Daily Trend playlist. Okay. So before we went for the break, we were tackling the social...
The revenue for government. Yes. And I think she has really enlightened me because up there we don't label it as this is for market women, this is for teachers. It's generalized, so we all benefit from it. So thank you for your enlightenment.
I urge you to pay your taxes in 2 years to come when you are earning a bigger amount.
I will definitely pay my taxes.
I think you already started earning, right?
No, not really, but
I'll come for some coins.
Don't worry. So right now I think we should move to the social aspect of literature. Okay.
I think socially, literature and art helps us to find ourselves. It serves as a means to know your surrounding, wherever that you find yourself. For instance, I'm going to a place and I see this statue. It serves as a security for me. When I'm lost or something and the police call me, I'll be like, I'm here, I'm beside this statue. Yeah. So it helps us to know our surrounding. Yeah. As for instance, statues and sculptures, it helps you to know, maybe I'm at a museum, maybe I'm at a runabout.
And I think it even helps those who build the maps be able to identify their surroundings when you are creating a map. I think these sculptures, maybe like what you cited, Obuman Kumar Snow, it's a very big statue in Winneba. So when you get there, you're able to know that I'm in Winneba, right?
Course.
Okay, so that is very, very interesting.
So to add up to, I would say, as an artist, we always have opportunities, especially when we are being given the chance to perform on bigger stages.
Exactly.
We end up being exposed to people who are ready to help, take you to a different level.
Okay.
So it puts you on the platform. It exposes you to others.
It exposes you, and then we would say you've been developed, right? Because you were not there, and you are yet to go there.
Okay.
Do you get it?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. That is very, very nice, and I think it actually develops a country. We can say literature and art actually birth civilization, because when you go to France, I think they were able to develop by literature. When you look back into history, we have King Francois the First, who actually developed France.
I never knew.
Oh, it's very true. He actually developed France with literature. First, I think they were speaking the Latin language, but he was able to make French the official language, whereby we as natives want to learn.
Enlightening me.
That is very. Thank you. Yeah.
You are here to educate us.
Yes, we are here to educate our viewers. Exactly. That's the main objective of the Daily Trend show. So I think it's really helping us, because right now language is everything, and then language is also under literature, even under arts. Because
now grammar has become part of beauty. And your inability to speak very good English to express yourself, you are not beautiful. Yeah. That's what you guys are saying.
Of course.
It's true.
Yes.
Of course.
So you have to know how to speak.
So on the national aspect too, I would talk about hieroglyphics. Whenever you hear that word, what comes to mind is the Egyptians, right?
Exactly.
That's their system of writing. And then literature used to exist, but then it was some sort of oral.
Okay.
You get it? They only recited. They were singing with, but then this hieroglyphic came to help. Do you get it? When you talk of hieroglyphics, it's the writings on monuments.
Okay.
In ancient Egypt, right?
Okay.
Writings on monuments.
Is it similar to the inscriptions on tomb, or
tomb is different, but I think it's part. It's just like when you go to the Bible, you have the 10 Commandments where Moses wrote on the I think it's like that.
Do you understand?
I get it.
So then, because hieroglyphic came it brought birth towards written literature. And then that aside, people used to come from their countries over the world to have experience.
So
Do you get
it attracts people to
Yeah,
explore.
More
And
so
you
it's
just
similar
don't- you
to
just don't go there to have you have to
Pay
take out
money,
something
exactly.
from your pocket. And it used to develop the words.
I think I would have to go and watch some.
It's
or
similar to the painting
Yeah.
of Mona Lisa, which is currently found in Paris, France. Okay, I learned when you want to go and see it, you have to pay some sort of amount, and that painting is a painting that is known worldwide. It's painted by Leonardo da Vinci.
That's
And
nice.
it is said that she carries a smile on her face, with which writers and musicians they write about it. So many a times when they go there, you have to pay an amount before you can take a look at it. So in the long run, the country is earning a revenue.
And also
course.
exhibiting the country
Yes,
to
it's
a lot
showing
of
them
people.
because the situation whereby I find myself in China and I'm a literature student, I want to go and take a look at the painting of Mona Lisa. I have to board a plane all the way to Paris, France, and when I get there, I'm going to pay money.
You are going to buy from them
Yes.
their food. I think all that generates income. Okay,
Yes.
and I think what you said is also supporting that it takes us back to the past, that we don't forget about our history as a nation and then what as
course.
people.
And not forgetting, we are all Ghanaians, okay, who are currently studying in Togo. And as we've been here, me personally, I love beats. I've seen the love Togo people they have for beats.
And
I'm
painting,
and I've
painting, they're very,
identified
very
a
good
lot
with
of
painting.
them, with which when I'm going back to my country, Ghana, I intend to purchase some.
Exactly.
So when I buy them here and I take it back to my country, I'm going to put them in my room. Some of the paints now.
Okay.
the
I'm
painting.
sure you're not going to take the whole Togo to Ghana.
So when I do so, I'm exposing Togo to Ghana. Someone
Exactly.
can pose the question, it's nice, where did you get it?
It
I'll
is
be
from-
like,
and then they'll also want to
and they
order.
want- yes,
Exactly.
So
They'll end up
national
coming-
sector, it exposes a country to another country. You get it? Exposing it. and-
Okay, so permit me to take us back to the social aspect. I also think the social aspect helps in communication, because sometimes you see a painting. I think I saw this painting where by the man was carrying the wife, and then the wife was also carrying just like what is showing on the screen right now. There's a woman carrying a basket. They all communicate meanings. They all tell us a story, and then communication. I don't have to talk to you one on one.
When you see the
Sometimes-
picture, it creates a vivid
Yes,
image.
and even poems. Sometimes when you read poems, these sonnets, they actually. My favorite is "Shall I compare thee to a summer's day?" I think
it's so
talking. I
romantic
think
and so it's very
Shakespeare was
nice.
communicating to us that he was talking about his loved ones, which he didn't state in the poem.
Of course.
So now that we've been able to understand literature and art, the developmental aspect, I think every development has a challenge. So let's move to the challenges of literature and art, which is retarding the growth of literature and art in our country.
Okay.
So let's talk about lack of funds. So Miss Mavis.
When we talk about lack of funds, okay, many a times individuals who are fully versed in these skills, absence of funds, they cannot start up. Some people don't have startup for businesses. You can see someone who can really do like this basketry, this bead making, these drums and stuffs, but in the absence of funds, the person cannot purchase the materials to do a startup. So when these companies or when these governments organize some sort of money, this is an amount for individuals, use it to start up for something.
But Miss Mavis, if the government should give people money, what if the business doesn't succeed? Are you going to pay for the money?
Where positivity comes
Yeah, I was
in.
about
As
to
an
ask, that's
individual,
interesting.
when you are starting something, negativity shouldn't be part. Okay,
No, it shouldn't be part. It should be part.
it should be part, but then it shouldn't overdo the positivity.
Of course.
On a scale of 0 to 10, I would say positivity should be 7.
Exactly.
So
That
you
is-
should know what you are going to do will yield a good fruit for you.
But
Okay?
what if it doesn't? What am I supposed to do?
Madam, I wouldn't agree with the negativity. Positivity should be in there.
Okay, so I
Positivity-
think we should encourage ourselves to be positive.
Of
Okay,
course.
and I think finding aspiration is also a challenge when it comes to literature and art. You're a musician, so I think you can talk more on that for us.
Yeah, that thing, it really happens. It really happens. The thing is, when I was in SHS, when I started doing music, I realized most of my friends, they started mocking, like, are you really doing music? Which one too is this one? Do you understand? But then, had that thing they used to do discouraged me do you think I would have been here right now as
Exactly.
an artist that we are talking?
I remember one time as a kid, I really loved singing, but anytime I sang, my siblings would just be laughing at me. It actually made me feel very, very
Sorry.
I had this same issue. I used to join the junior choir. Okay,
Yeah.
it was my mom. She lured me to join, and my voice is some kind of some way. And when I went first, my voice was very good. I sang. You have to do some sort of example, and they will know. You see, you have auto. Exactly.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I did something, and they were like, "Oh, join the auto." So we had an example. We sang a song, and the man changed me to a different group. The next day we went to school. My classmate was part. She had gone to inform the class that when they gave me the auto group, they realized I was the one spoiling the song, so they had to.
That is
So I got really sad. Then I left the
sad.
junior choir. I was like, I won't do it again.
Have you
So
seen-
I also think lack of support from the outside
Yes.
world
And
is
low
also
self-esteem.
exactly
Because
lack
I'm
of
a lover of crocheting. I wanted to start up crocheting, but then I was posing questions to myself. Will this thing I will do, will people patronize? Will it suffice? Will it be nice? Will people love it? Then again I thought about it, and I never tried crocheting. I never
that
did.
is very bad. I would have patronized
I
you
know.
anyway.
Of
Exactly.
course.
You
But I
wouldn't.
think we should encourage people to actually support us. Okay.
Yeah.
So what do you have to say about lack of support from the outside world?
Is lack of support is something that is really happening. No. Okay, a situation whereby if forums or seminars can be organized for
But before we
individuals.
move to that, Miss Mavis, I know we are all speaking about lack of support from the outside world, but sometimes you go into a gallery and then the painting you are seeing is very appalling. Imagine I go to a gallery and then I buy a painting that when I wake up, the first thing I see is this painting, and then I get scared.
You get scared?
Yes, do you expect
That's
me
very
to?
mean of you.
No, that is not very mean.
No, I will urge you to appreciate the effort the person has placed in there. Okay.
But
Maybe it might
sometimes-
not be nice for you, but it might be nice for someone. Sometimes it's the message that the
Sometimes
painting
it's
embodies.
actually
Okay.
not nice at all. Imagine painting me, or I ask you to make me into a statue, and then you make me look like someone else. I don't think I'm going to be happy.
Yeah.
So
I saw
I
some
think you
picture
appreciating
online.
the effort
Yeah.
the person has placed inside, it can encourage the person to do more. A situation whereby I paint you, Miss Margaret, and I bring it to you, and you tend to laugh. Maybe it's, what is this? It will break my heart.
Well,
And
I
I'll
think
tend
it should rather.
I won't do it
I think
again.
it
I will
should.
stop.
So the advice
I
is
think
that
it should
if
rather
if
encourage you.
If it is being gifted to you, what you should do is you accept it in good faith.
And then do what with it?
And then you motivate the person who did
Is
it.
that not lying? No,
No,
please.
you're not lying because it entails a lot.
You are
need
encouraging the person. The
effort.
person can do more.
Really.
Because
But I
yes.
think if the person should paint me and then it's not nice, okay, and then I actually smile and I accept it, the person is not going to work on it. Oh, Miss Margaret is actually happy with this.
I understand where you are coming from, what you are saying. No.
There's
Many
always
a
a
time,
nice
those
way.
who do that, they don't really know what they are doing. No. Some people mistaking their talents to be a skill. Some people are
Exactly.
naturally gifted. That's the
Exactly.
talent, and you have the skill that is learned.
learn.
Some people falsely learn the thing, trying to build a skill that they can do the thing, whereas they can't do it very well. So I would advise, even if these art institutions and these sectors are being organized, they take their time, they learn the thing very well before they go ahead to do this.
I think we
painting and
should
stuff.
support our own people. We should
Patronizing
actually
them.
patronize them. I think we should also encourage the government to open these art exhibition centers. I think I attended one when I was a kid, and it actually helped me explore. You see weaving, you see basketry, and what you love most,
Yes,
that is
yes.
crocheting. So I think the government should hold trade fair excursions whereby people can exhibit their artwork,
Even
and
not,
then
not putting so much burden on the government, like people
Themselves.
proprietors can also
Those who are well to do in the higher
doing
sector.
that. Because speaking for musicians, I would say there are some these forums that are opened
Okay.
worldwide.
Okay.
In Ghana, I would say there is this Talented Kids and TV3 Mentor and those stuff that are equipping
children.
artists, and
Okay.
then now they end up becoming stars.
Exactly.
You get it?
Okay.
So
So I think we've
initiative
actually
like
educated and entertained our
Of
viewers.
course.
But let's take our last words. And I'm in the person of Margaret Clark. And then my last words for my lovely viewers is that life is not all about math and science. We have literature and art. That you don't always have to be a doctor. You don't always have to be a professor. Even if you want to be, you can actually do that as a side hustle. As in Miss Mavis, I know one day you want to be a professor, and I know you're going to continue crocheting. and then trust me, I'm going to patronize you. And then Mr. Gonji, also a student, I know you want to be someone big in future. You don't have to stop doing your music. I would encourage you to continue doing your music. So parents out there, I think you'd have to encourage the children to go more into art and literature, not forgetting about their books.
All right, so I'm also in the person of Mr. Champo Ernest, popularly known as Gonji. My last word is really going for or to parents out there that should you see this kind of talent in your ward, by not depriving your ward from going to school, you can still enforce, as Socrates would always say, connect to a, that is to say, know yourself by you yourself. So should you see any talent as such in your ward, keep reinforcing the ward and then invest in the ward. Do you understand? And then at the end of the day, it's going to be a portraitudinous feeling. You see your ward make it in life, and you're going to be proud.
Exactly.
And I'm in the person of Mavis Edu. And I would say that we should patronize these artworks, those who are producing products for us. I will urge you all to patronize them. And also, just as Chris Smith said, art is that which defines and gives uniqueness. I will urge you all to locate your skill and work towards them to earn some side coins. In as much as our show has been very interesting and educative today, time will not permit us to go further. Yet we would like to end here. I will urge you all to keep following us on our social media platforms and on Facebook at The Daily Trend TV, The Daily Trend TDT. Don't forget to watch the repeat on Saturdays at 4:15 p.m. See you same time next week. Have a good day.
Bye.